One of the most frustrating parts about dating in midlife is feeling like you've done the work, but keep running into people who haven't. And after a while, dating apps are so draining with a whole lot of effort and little return. In this video, I want to walk you through 6 strategies for meeting emotionally available people in real life. Now, these aren't guarantees, but if you do each of these, you'll dramatically increase your odds of meeting somebody who actually has the capacity to build something real. Because in my experience, where and how you're looking matters more than trying harder or swiping longer. And the 6th one is my personal favorite and one of the best ways that I've seen people form meaningful and lasting relationships. The first strategy is make yourself relationally accessible. And before I continue, all 6 of these strategies fall into one of 3 categories: where you put yourself, how you signal for availability, and how you filter for alignment. I'm not going to go through them in that order because life isn't rigid and contained like that, but you'll notice each one showing up again and again. So this first strategy, making yourself relationally accessible, is about signaling availability, because emotionally available people are often quietly open, not performatively loud. And what I mean by this is taking out the headphones, keeping your eyes up, slowing your pace a little bit to allow the space for these micro interactions, not being in such a hurry all the time, getting from place to place, moving through the grocery store, leaving the class to go to work. Allow opportunities for connection. And if somebody asks you how you're doing, try telling them how you're actually doing. Move away from the default of fine or good because you don't want to burden somebody else. Pause. Notice what you're feeling and tell them. This opens the door for something real, a more authentic, vulnerable connection, and you give other people the permission to be real with you. And it's that realness that signals emotional availability and optimizes your chances for that little micro interaction to actually go somewhere. Because if you're closed off to protect yourself and never letting anyone in, then you're going to unintentionally shut out the people who are quietly curious and want to get to know you. The second strategy, you have to reality check your environments. Does the person that you want to be with show up here consistently? That requires you to know the values of the person that you want to be with. For example, do you go to bars or loud environments thinking that you're going to meet someone who's like grounded, emotionally available, and ready to be vulnerable with you? They might exist there. There might be overlap, but it's not going to be their primary habitat. And I use this example because we have been so culturally conditioned for so long through television and movies that these are the sorts of places that people meet. But in reality, if there's some sort of substance involved or if there's like a lot of noise, you might signal for attraction and chemistry, but not depth and alignment. And I'm not saying don't go to shows or bars if that's your thing. Like, have fun, do that. But don't expect to meet someone who's like really actually aligned with you and emotionally available in those environments. Okay, so if you've done these first 2 things and thought, I've done all that, I'm doing everything right, why is it still so hard? Then these next strategies are about action and implementation. This is where it begins to click. The third strategy, choosing environments with shared activity, community building, and lingering. And these environments that you choose, building on the last point, should be in alignment with something that you value. So if you value physical health, it might be like a workout class or a yoga class. These could be language classes, meditation or spiritual groups. They could be dance, art, or like theater and acting, something creative. But what these environments do that have a shared activity and some sort of communal aspect gives you repeated exposure, shared focus, and low pressure. And this works because of the nervous system co-regulatory nature of these group activities. And then like the lingering after the fact gives space for conversations to emerge organically. Remember, if you're doing that first bit of slowing the hell down, not rushing from one thing to the next, then you have an opportunity after the activity to start building relationships. And now, don't expect that you go to a class and you're going to meet your person, right away. Like, it doesn't work like that. It takes time and that repeated exposure to start to build trust, safety, and familiarity with the other people that engage with this group. And over time, after you've seen someone over and over again, you start to just feel comfortable with them, even if you don't really know them, because of the consistency with which you've both shown up to this thing. And this gives time for attraction to develop, and then for that spark to create a fire after you start to build some sort of relationship with that person. Which leads us to the fourth strategy. Practice low stakes connection. Introduce yourself. Lead with curiosity over any sort of expectation or attachment to outcome. Compliment people. If you have a genuine compliment to give, don't be creepy. Compliments are great only when there's no real expectation and it's actually genuine. In an era where nearly half of Gen Z men haven't asked someone out on a date in person, like, this skill is more critical than ever. And I don't care about gender norms here. Break the ice. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Talk to people that you want to talk to. It doesn't matter if you want to be asked out or you want to ask someone out. You need the confidence to initiate these connections with others. And so if you want to be asked out, you can do something that Matthew Hussey calls dropping the handkerchief. Like in older times, say the 1940s, really traditional for men to ask women out. Except the woman wasn't just completely complacent in this exchange. They would drop the handkerchief and give an opportunity for the man to see this and say, "Miss, you dropped your handkerchief." And now the door's open. That initial connection has been initiated. And so in a modern day, you can metaphorically drop the handkerchief. It might be asking somebody to watch your things, asking if you could borrow something that maybe you forgot at the house. There's all sorts of ways that you can drop the handkerchief and open the door for that connection. And if you want to ask someone out, it starts with the confidence of just talking to people and getting to know people. And you can practice this with people you have no real romantic or physical attraction to. And you'll be amazed at what sorts of authentic relationships and connections come from this. And when you're not attached to the outcome, not every single interaction that you have needs to lead to a date or possibly your person, you will likely create new, really meaningful friendships. And then it's that new friend who may introduce you to your partner 3 months down the line. Now, before I say the fifth strategy, this whole video is about meeting people in real life, right? But should you use the apps? I say yes. But there's a caveat. So the fifth strategy is make your dating profile boldly authentic, because dating apps are a wonderful tool that can help you meet people that may not be in your sphere that are actually very aligned. But it's really important that you use them and don't let them use you. And you have to do a real hard gut check on whether or not you can actually establish boundaries with apps, because apps are designed to keep you swiping, not actually to get off of them. And there's this huge dopaminergic surge that comes with swiping and novelty seeking on the apps. And when you have so many options just at your fingertips, you can feel less satisfied with what's right in front of you, and you can experience major analysis paralysis, keeping you stuck in this dating hell forever as you become burnt out, tired, and jaded with dating. So when you make your dating profile boldly authentic, you're optimizing for quality over quantity. Yes, you're going to get fewer matches, but the matches that you do get are going to be higher quality in the sense that they're more aligned, because the clarity that you're offering is filtering for the right people. And so your dating profile should convey a lot of personality and your values and intention really clearly. Stop trying to be broadly likable. Because if you want to be with someone who's emotionally available and has a lot of self-trust, your profile needs to demonstrate it. And finally, the sixth strategy, this one's my favorite, and I think the fastest way to potentially meet someone who's emotionally available and really aligned with you. The strategy is invest in experiences that build community and relationships. And when I say experiences, I mean real experiences. It might be a trip, a retreat, a multi-day hike. I'm a big fan of rafting trips. It could be some sort of training or immersive experience, traveling, all these sorts of experiences that have some element of novelty, immersion, and shared challenge with a cohort are incredible ways to bond with the people in that group over something that is deeply aligned with who you are at your core. And from that, to create meaningful, lasting relationships that can potentially last a lifetime. You might meet your person on that trip or within the container of that experience because you have wonderful chemistry, but you also know that your lives are converging at this really critical junction, this point in time over this shared experience that aligns with these really important values that you both share. And that's a great foundation for building something that lasts. And if you don't meet your person in this experience, then you're really likely to form some significant relationships that could last your entire life. And it's not always meeting your person directly, but when you form new friendships, you're often just 1 or 2 people away from meeting the person that you'll spend the rest of your life with. There you go. The 6 strategies for increasing the odds that you meet someone emotionally available with depth, integrity, and who is really aligned with you. To recap, we're focused on signaling availability, how you choose your environments, and how you filter for alignment. And so first, make yourself relationally accessible, reality check your environments, choose environments with shared activity and lingering, practice low stakes connections so you build confidence and start to create new relationships, make a boldly authentic dating profile. And then lastly, invest in experiences that have a strong emphasis on community and relationship building, often by bonding through something together. This is a simple framework, but simple doesn't mean easy. This is going to require you to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're gonna have to put yourself out there, risk rejection, actually be rejected. And it also doesn't guarantee you'll meet your person who's emotionally available. You could literally meet someone in the therapist waiting room and they could still be an asshole, but it's okay. You'll become stronger because of it. You might make new lifelong friends that will introduce you to your person 6 months from now. Say yes more. Take more risks. Go to therapy or work with a coach so that you deepen your relationship with yourself, because as you do so, you'll deepen your relationship with others. Focus more on building a big, bold, courageous life than anything else. Focus on showing up each and every day with the mentality that you will meet your person who's emotionally available and super aligned 8 months from now, because those are the conditions and the energy that is needed for meeting the right person. But more importantly, enjoying the ride in the meantime. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. It helps it to reach more people like you who are focused on building self-trust, healing old wounds, and building relationships that can stand the test of time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.